going to be discussing how to work with a student who is deaf or hard of hearing. Okay, it's for mainstream teachers. Alright. First thing you want to know is you need to get to know your student. You should learn about deaf culture if the student identifies themselves with that, or just learn about their family and their background so you can understand where they're coming from. Also become familiar with your student's English background. American Sign Language has a different sentence structure than English, so if you feel that they are using the wrong grammar, they're just using the grammar that's familiar to them. Another important thing would be communication. Become familiar with your student's method of communication. There are several ways that they could communicate. One would be American Sign Language, which is its own language, its own grammar, and everything. And there's Signed Exact English, or SEE, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's English, word order, and grammar with signs. Another one that they might have been brought up orally, so they might use speech reading. And if this is the case, speak slowly, but don't over-enunciate, because that actually makes it harder to speech read. Also, if you have a student who is deaf or hard of hearing, writing notes back and forth is also an effective way of communicating. It might not be the fastest, but it'll get what you need. If you have a student who is deaf or hard of hearing, you will most likely have to have a sign language interpreter to facilitate communication with them. And when you do this, you need to talk directly to the student, not like ask the interpreter if Billy can do this or that. You talk directly to the student. With the interpreter, you need to collaborate. You need to discuss the goals and expectations in the classroom and provide a personal workspace for them so they can best know what's going on in the classroom and the student will get the best information possible. You also need to work closely with the interpreter to ensure that the student gets their needs met and receives the best possible education. Right. For seating arrangements, you would want to try and place the student where they will be able to watch the interpreter and the teacher. This will facilitate the student's learning and effective communication between the teacher and the student. It's hard if the teacher's moving around all of the classroom for the student to watch both the teacher and the interpreter, so being in the same area and not moving around a whole lot would be the most conducive environment for that. Alright, for note-taking, it is extremely hard for a student who is deaf to watch a sign language interpreter and take notes at the same time, so they are allowed to request a note-taker. This can be another student or a professional note-taker. Also, to help with this, you should provide a copy of the lecture notes and overheads to the student so that they can be prepared to learn. And whenever you watch a video in your classroom, provide closed captioning so that the student who is deaf may be able to watch the video and not just the interpreter, because they would probably miss out on information if they weren't able to see the whole video, and that would just make it so everybody can watch it. And for student expectations, the same classroom rules and procedure are expected of the student who is deaf as every other student. They are no different in any way. Well, that is all I have for today, so thank you for your time.